Features are those items that we add to a map. In SARtopo, these are sometimes called objects. There are three ways to add a feature to the map. We can come up and use the Add button in the menu above. Or we can come down to the left-hand side, click on Add New Object, and we can see that we get the same list of features that we got from the Add in the menu. Finally, we can come over and just right-click on the map, and then we get the same list as well. The difference is when you right-click on the map and add an object, that object is placed at the point at which you clicked. If you just add new object from the menu system, the object always goes to the exact center of the screen. In this case, I've added a marker, which is just a spot that specifies the location. The coordinates that you see are the coordinates that we have configured. In this case, we're looking at latitude, longitude. At the beginning of every search, we tend to put in the location of the incident command post. And down here on Style, we can pop up various styles that we can use for a marker. In this case, I'm going to use the standard one for an incident command post, and then I'm going to say OK. Other objects we can add are lines. A line is just a drawing line. There's three types of lines. We're going to cover them later. A buffer. A buffer is just purely a line that has a buffer size on each side of it. It actually ends up drawing a polygon on the screen. But if you think of a fat line, instead of just being a single line, think of it as being like a worm on the screen. It is the line, but on each side of it, for X number of feet that you decide, it shows that little buffer. Again, we're going to cover lines later. Other objects we can add are polygons, a square, a triangle, a 17-sided object. We can draw them just by connecting the lines. Folders. Folders don't go on the screen necessarily, but they do go into the system, and folders are very useful for segregating items. You can put, for example, clues versus unconfirmed clues in different folders, and you can turn visibility on and off on a folder, which would mean that, for example, as we're collecting clues, we could put them in unconfirmed and they would not show on the screen. But if the clue has become validated and we know that it had to do with the subject, we could move that clue into confirmed clues and actually have them showing on the screen to provide more information to search management. Operational periods are the same. They don't actually show on the screen. They get created and stored on the left-hand side underneath where you'd see markers, for example. In fact, we can create one. I'll create a folder. I'm just going to call it Unconfirmed Clues. I like that. And we can see that right here now. Okay, and I will now create an operational period. When we create an operational period, we can assign a color to it using the color square here. I'm going to use this one as being green. Any assignments that get created for this operational period also get colored the color of that OP. This allows us to segregate by color assignments from different operational periods. Later on, we will actually move the assignments for an operational period into a separate folder. For example, OP1 assignments, OP2 assignments, OP3 assignments. This allows us to go back and turn them on and off, keeping our screen much cleaner. You notice as we create it, we now get it over here into our list of objects that we've created. This time I'll add a new object from this side. Clicking here. I'm not going to do line assignment, buffer assignment, or area assignment, but I will add, for example, a clue. So a clue, we're going to call it shoe. It's going to be in the clue, and we might say here's automatically it's adding it in the center of the screen, so we're getting this latitude, longitude. I'm going to accept that for right now, and we can see the clue marker right here in the middle of the screen. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to right click on it and drag it to a new location and say that we found it here at the bridge. Okay, now I have my shoe clue here under the clues. Again, I'm going to add an object from here, and I'm going to put in range rings. Now this allows us to say from a given point, in fact you can see the coordinates for the point right here. These range rings are going to branch out from that, and we can say I want them at 100, 500, change that, 300, 500 meters from that point. Okay, again, the point was the middle of the screen, so if you do it this way, these now just get drawn from the middle of the screen. And these are just considered to be lines or polygons, and they come in as separate items. They're no longer attached to the point at the middle of the screen. Each of these gets treated separately. So I could move one of these lines or delete one of these lines, but I can't move all three as a group any longer. Okay. Clicking new again. I'm going to show a line assignment. We're going to talk about them later, but it's good to go ahead and see one now. So I'm going to create a line assignment. And I'm going to call it AA01. It's going to sit in the assignments folder. It's in operational period 1. It's a ground resource. Team size is going to be 4 people. We're going to say all the PODs are low. I would draw out the details of this. Follow Marina follow Marina Vista Avenue. I don't know why that second letter is being capitalized each time. There's something I'm obviously holding down too long. Between diagrammed on map. Okay, close enough. I can fill in whether they have to self-transport. Again, right now I just want to show you how this works. We're going to go into drawing lines much later. But in this case, I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to draw lines along Marina Vista Avenue. And then this will be part of then of the assignment. Okay, and we can see that an assignment AAO1 has been created here, and the line is not actually drawn very well, but that was demo, and as I said, we're going to go over lines later. So this is how we add objects to the screen. We can add from up here. We can come down here and add the same objects, or we can right click on the screen and add the object at the point at which we clicked. We'll talk about adding new layers in a later section. Some of these will come up in the advanced section of this course. Okay, so this is how we add features.